Hello friends, today we will discuss about the causes of the French Revolution. As we have discussed the introduction part of the French Revolution in last class, I have given three C's, that is causes, forces and consequences. Okay, so causes, there are several causes. Those are responsible for the outbreak of French Revolution in France. Why? What happened in France? That the people of France were unhappy, and they are unhappy on whom? Let us discuss about the social causes. Okay, let's come to the board. So this is French Revolution. I have given the introduction. Let's come to the causes of the French Revolution. So I have written some causes here. There are so many causes, but some important causes I have written here. 1. Political causes, social causes, economic causes. 4th one is religious causes. 5th, role of philosophers. 6th is immediate causes. I just want to say one thing here. Political causes and religious causes is not in your chapter, but somehow this is also we will discuss, because if we leave these two causes, we cannot understand the other causes, but this is not included in your syllabus. Okay, so let's shortly discuss about the political causes. Let's discuss about the politics. Okay, politics means at that time politics was coming under kings. When the French Revolution occurred, that is 1789, as we have discussed in last class, at that time the king was Louis XVI. Before Louis XVI, there was also two other kings, Louis XV and Louis XIV. These three rulers are dictator. They are monarch. They are not thinking about the people, the subjects, or the common people of the country. So they are going through the absolute power of the king. What do you mean by absolute power? We will discuss about one by one political causes. Let's first start the despotic power. They are enjoying despotic power. What is despotic power? Despotic power is given to those who are believe in the dictatorships. That means they are the dictator of the countries and they are not answerable to anyone. What they want to do, they can do it. Second one is increasement of taxes. Whatever there is the shortages of money, we will discuss why there is the increasement of taxes in the economic causes. But when they are increasing the taxes, they are not taking the permission of the parliament or the assemblies. Let's come to the absolute power. Absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy, there is the very less active parliament, and king is more powerful than parliament, and king is not answerable to parliament. Last one is involvement in the many wars. Due to the involvement in many wars, there is the drain of wealth. That means expenditure grown so high, so it could not control, and there is a shortages of foods, other essential commodities. There are some economic crisis. So these are the political causes. I also want to give some important facts about Louis XIV, XV and XVI. They enjoyed a luxurious life. They spent the people's taxes, that means money collected from the people, common people. They enjoyed the money with their luxurious lives. Louis XVI, Louis XV and Louis XIV all are same responsible for the outbreak of revolution. But in your chapter, it is only given the Louis XVI. Let's come to some important fact about Louis XIV, XV and XVI. They all are monarch. They are not answerable to anyone. What they want to do, they can do. And Louis XIV, how he is powerful. I am giving a one statement of Louis XIV that I am the state, and my words are the laws of the country. That means he is not responsible to anyone, he is not answerable to anyone, what he want to do, he can do. Louis XV, when he was before his dying, he told once to his son that after me there is a Delug. That means Delug means the revolution. That means in Odia it is called the Mahabiplav. So let's come to the Louis XVI. Let's come to the Louis XVI. Louis XVI is, he told me, oh God, they have not left anything else. That means I am in severe trouble. Why? Because when Louis XVI ascended the throne in 1774, he got an empty treasury. Why there is an empty treasury? We will discuss in the economic causes of the French Revolution. So this was all about Louis XIV, XV and XVI, but in year chapter we will discuss about the Louis XVI. Louis XVI ascended the throne very early age, 1774, and he got married to Austrian princess, that is Marie Antoinette. Okay, so let's come to the social causes. Before starting of the chapter, we must have knowledge about the society when the French Revolution occurred. What is the social divisions? Were there any divisions in the society or not, or they are unity? Let's discuss about the social causes of the French Revolution. Okay, social causes. Let's understand the society. Society was divided into three parts: first state, second state, third state. Three category of people are living in the society. First state, they are the clergy. What do you understand clergy? This is the new word for you. Clergy, in our language they are called as priest. Priest. In our language it is priest. So in their language they are called as clergy. That means they are the responsible or the guidance of the church, responsibility of the church. Nobility, they are the administrative department. They are the closer to the king, and they are in the charge of the administrative departments. The soldiers, the nobles, the ministers, other important portions of the royal court, they are called as nobility. Then let's come to the third state. Third states except clergy and nobility. The rest of the people, those are living in France, they are included in third state. Let's come to the from the four. I divide this third state in two boxes. One, this is very poor. This is somehow they are rich or middle classes people. The very poor includes peasants, workers, artisans, servants. The middle class people includes big businessmen, merchants, court officials, lawyers. These are included. These are teachers, professors, all are the servicemen. Those are not doing the service in the administrative department, they are also included in the third state. But basically, the third state people is regarded as the poor. This is very less percentage of the third state people, but the much percentage of the third state people are the poor people. Those have those landless laborers. These are also included in the poor or the third state people. I hope you understand. Okay, so let's discuss about what is the difference between these three state people. The first and second state, they are one category. That means they are the first state and second state, they are the closer to the king and they are enjoying privileges by birth. What do you mean by privileges? All the facilities. Privileges means facilities. Facilities given from the birth, not as per their talent. But here, facility, those people. Some people have also talent, but they are not getting the facilities. That facility is given to the first and second state people. As I am giving that, we have seen many historical events, historical serials also, that after the death of the son, after the death of the king's son, whatever he has talent or not talent, that does not matter. But after the death of the king's son always occupied the throne of the country or the state. So this is called privileges by birth. That means Raja, king, the son of the king, that means Yuvraj, is always ascend the throne after the death or retirement of the king. This is called privileges by birth. That means after the death of the minister, that the minister's sons also became the minister of that state. As per the monarchy rule, but today it is not there. This facility is not available as a democratic government. So this type of system challenged by the third state people. This type of system challenged by the third state people. Why? They have no talent, but some people have no talent, but they are enjoying the facilities, the privileges, because they are born in the first and then second state people. I just want to say that clergy, there is a dominant role in the society. Clergy, they are the charge of the churches. They are the charge of the churches. And churches also, what is the role of the churches? We will discuss in the religious causes. That is not included in the chapter. Somehow it is given some. Okay. It is given very briefly about the religious causes. But church has also dominant role in the society. They are collecting taxes. Two types of taxes, tithes and tiles. Tithes and tiles you may get in your book. That is collected, one tax collected, that is, tithe is a tax. Tithe is a tax levied by the church. The church was collected the tithes, and it is 1/10 of the agricultural production. What is the production of the agriculture? Of the poor people or the peasants or the workers, they have to pay 1/10 of their portion to the church, and also one person is also they are paying, that is tithe and tithe. I am writing here. Tithe and tithe. Tithe was collected by church and tithe was collected by king. There is two types of taxes collected, and both the taxes was only given by the third state people. These taxes are not given by the first and second state people. Do you clear what is the differences between these two society, these two state and this state? Because they are not getting the privileges by birth, and they are getting the privileges by birth, and they are not paying any taxes to the king. And do you know, this is the person, only the first and second state people are only 10% of the society, and here is the 90% of the society. But the property, when we are discussing about the property, first and second, there is the 10% of the people, third state is the 90%. When the case of property, the first and second state have 60% property, and the third state have only 40% people. So that means 90% of the people having only 40% of property, 10% of the people of the society of France having 60% property, but they are not paying any taxes. Only the 40% property having 90% people paying the taxes to the king as well as to the church. This was all about the structure of the society and what was the problem with the society I have discussed. If you have any doubt, you ask to me. In the next class, today I have discussed political causes, economic causes and religious causes. Religious causes means that is the role of the church. Church collecting the taxes, religious taxes from the common people. They are suffering a lot, but church always busy for the gathered of the property. Lots of property in the name of the churches. That is also one of the cause of the French Revolution. So in this class I have discussed political causes, social causes and religious causes. In the next class we will discuss about economic causes, role of philosopher, economic causes and role of philosopher. So I hope all of you have understood this class. If you have not understood, you ask to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.